Greetings, T.C. Williams High School, class of 2019. I would like to congratulate you on this very special occasion, your high school graduation. Today marks the end of an era in your life journey, and you have all worked so very hard, but have shown that putting in the time and the effort is finally paying off. As your principal, I could not be prouder. You have all achieved so much for yourselves, your classmates or your teammates, and for the school as a whole. We will never forget the class of 2019 and the mark that you have left here at TC. Congratulations. Now, please welcome the graduating class of 2019. Good morning and welcome. And welcome to the class of 2019. Let's have a special thank you to the City of Alexandria Pipes and Drums for their participation in today's program. Will everyone please stand or continue standing for the presentation of colors by the T.C. Williams JROTC Honor Guard, followed by the singing of the national anthem by seniors Leila Rasmussen and Michael Justice Coakley.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch, we're so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Gentle mistresses, most charming gentlemen, and graduating seniors of T.C. Williams, gather close and pay heed to my words. Be it known that we gather together on this fine June day to launch our sons and daughters well on their way for adventures and experiences in a brave new world which they face with their sails unfurled. I am sure the seniors thought this day would never come. But trust me, in less than 2 hours' time, you will be an alum. But heed these words as you strike out on life's next chapter. Your story is not only defined but what came before, but also what comes after. Be sure to experience what you can, but take the time to smell the roses and revel in the mysteries of life that time and experience exposes. Let it be known that all in attendance are proud of what you have done. And with this day, we are all sure that your list of accomplishments has only just begun. Now, as the commencement commences and I finish my welcoming address, the depth of my heartfelt congratulations I cannot fully stress. Hear me now as I say, very sincerely say, that I am very proud of all of you on this very special day. God bless T.C. Williams and these United States.
Good morning. Okay, so my name is Danae Taylor, and I have had the honor of being president of the class of 2019 for the last 3 years. Now that prom is over, my job here today is to welcome and thank everyone who has come out to celebrate our success. First, let me start off by thanking our music department. Thank you to the band and the choir who give up their mornings every single year to come and play and sing for us. Next, I want to welcome all of our teachers, administrators, and all other T.C. Williams staff who have dedicated their time to helping us excel. Now, parents, family, and family friends, we appreciate you readjusting your normal schedules to drive all the way down here to support us today. All of you here today form the base of the T.C. Williams Class of 2019 fan base. You are our true rocks, and we will always appreciate you for your own willingness to do anything to help us succeed and support us. We love you. And it is with absolute sincerity and unfeigned appreciation that we welcome you to our graduation ceremony today. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Matthew Miller, and I'm the senior class vice president at TC Williams. I would next like to introduce a man who needs no introduction, Superintendent Dr. Gregory Hutchings. He graduated from TC Williams in 1995, where he was in fantastic company as senior class vice president. Dr. Hutchings previously served as a director of through 12K initiatives and director of middle school programs with ACPS. He then spent 5 years as superintendent of Shaker Heights School District outside Cleveland, Ohio, before returning to ACPS as superintendent in 2018. Dr. Hutchings has served as principal at the middle and high school levels. He holds a bachelor's degree in interdisciplinary studies from Old Dominion University, a master's degree in educational leadership from George Mason University, and a doctorate in educational policy, planning, and leadership from William & Mary. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce our superintendent, Dr. Gregory Hutchings.
Hello, class of 2019. Hello, class of 2019. All right, you all are graduating today. You should be excited. So before we get started, I do have to introduce a few people. Let me introduce the Honorable Cindy Anderson, our board chair. The Honorable Veronica Nolan, our vice chair. The Honorable Megan Alderton. The Honorable Ramey Gentry. The Honorable Jacinta Green. The Honorable Margaret Lorber. The Honorable Michelle Reif. The Honorable Heather Thornton. I would also like to introduce our mayor, the Honorable Justin Wilson. Our vice mayor, the Honorable Elizabeth Bennett Parker. City Councilwoman, the Honorable Amy Jackson. And City Councilman, the Honorable Mo Solfadine. There are so many people who are so proud of each and every one of you. Your parents, your family, our faculty, your friends, all who share in this achievement. I think it's important for you all to give them all a round of applause, class of 2019. To all of our father figures who are out there today, this day, I hope, is probably one of the best gifts that you can have the day before Father's Day. So at this time, I would like to acknowledge all of the father figures or single mothers that are out there. As stated before, I too was once sitting where you all are sitting today. I was a part of the class of 1995. Now I'm a dad of 2 Alexandria City Public Schools students. And I hope that one day each of them will become TC Titans just like you. There's one thing that I try to share with our daughter and our son every opportunity that I get, is that not only do you deserve a seat at our family table, but you deserve a seat at any table in this world. I want to tell not only my children, but I want to tell each of you, our graduates of 2019, that your voice is power. As powerful as anyone else's, but you have to participate in order to have your voice heard. You have to make your voice heard to be able to drive change. You know, we all have those moments when we ask ourselves, am I good enough? Many of us, and at times including me, we hear that inner voice telling us, maybe you're not. Or maybe that's a little too high. Or maybe that's out of reach. This can be profoundly true for people of color, for people who were not born in this country, for young people who may feel excluded due to their socioeconomic background, due to their gender identification, due to their family circumstances, or due to their particular learning ability. You are students. You come from 114 different countries. You speak 119 different languages. And sometimes that can be a challenge. But in all honesty, our diversity is a formidable strength. It is something that we all must embrace. Our differences in this room is our strengths. Let me say that again. Our differences in this room are our strengths. What you bring to the table, others around you may not. What you have, I don't have. Your knowledge is different from the person sitting next to you. Your experiences and maybe even your culture and your religion is too. So next time you sit with a group of friends, I challenge you to order a different dish that nobody's ever tried before and see the conversation that happens around that table. Now I stand here looking out over a sea of red, white, and blue. And I have to say, I am immensely proud of each and every one of you today. I know that it took a lot for each of you to get here. The late nights, the hours working a part-time job, the uncomfortable sense you did not fit as you walked into an AP classroom, but you stayed anyway. The sacrifices each of you made so that you can take the next step into college or into the military or into the workforce or just out into the world. Only last week, I was talking to two students, one of whom worked 36 hours a week throughout her high school years so that she could become the first to graduate from high school and go to college. These two seniors, Larissa Oliveira and Mahmoud El Hag, they will be talking about their experiences on the Today Show next week. You talk about a voice. They have a national voice. And they're talking about equity. They're talking about the need to have equitable opportunities for all. They are our voice, and they were our voice, and will be our voice on the Today Show. What we want is for all of you to have a voice. Each and every one of you, you deserve to be at any table. You earned your seat here today, and in the same way, you will earn other seats in the future. And through your voice, you will make a difference. How far your voice is heard, that's up to every single one of you in this room. It will not be handed to you, and you will need to go out and seek to achieve it. In fact, my first advice is don't just get involved. Get actively involved. Fight for the seat at the table. Better yet, fight for the seat at the head of the table. Don't allow your past to determine your future. Don't allow your life circumstances to define who you will become. As you're fighting for that head seat at the table, I say make somebody else pay the bill. Now, today I can't offer you all future students that I'm going to pay for all your future student loans, right? I wish I could. I haven't made it yet, but when I make it, I will. I promise. But I can offer you something else. And for some of you, this may be just as good. Today, right here, at this moment, I am launching the Coming Home campaign, where Alexandria City Public Schools will be guaranteeing those of UTC graduates in the class of 2019 who pursue education as a major in college, a job with Alexandria City Public Schools after you graduate. We want you to come back in 2023 or 2024. Now, there are some conditions, everybody. One, you have to work hard. You're going to have a 3.0 GPA in your major. You're going to have to get a Virginia teaching license to meet the necessary requirements to teach in our classrooms. But we are so sure that we have taught you all so well that our Titans, that means you, our graduates, will come back and be some of the best teachers that we have in Alexandria City Public Schools. So we're guaranteeing a seat at the ACPS table. And we're going to be reaching out to you all this summer and also in the fall to determine if you have declared your major. We're going to check in again next year. And when you say yes, we're going to take that extra step to offer you an agreement to come and work for us when you graduate. And when you write that next chapter, I want you not to forget how you got to the table. It is your job once you make it that you pay the bill for the next person. It's gestures like that make us Titans. That can-do spirit that I witnessed at the Scholarship Fund of Alexandria Awards ceremony last week. It is this Titan spirit that will transform you from students into leaders. So congratulations. You all have earned a seat today, and as you experience new challenges and adventures. And I don't need to remind all the social media savvy folks out there in this class of 2019, but we're asking you all to send us photos of the different tables that you're having a seat at in the future, whether it's in college, whether it's in the military, whether it's in the workforce, or whether it's just traveling around the world. So I wish you all the best in the brightest of futures as you two reach out to infinity and beyond. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Helen Mangle, and I'm your 2019 class treasurer. It has been my privilege to have served as treasurer for this amazing class for the past 3 years. Today, I am honored to be introducing two very important members of the class of 2019. First, our salutatorian, Caroline Bates. Caroline is a member of the National Honor Society and the French Honor Society and has maintained an impeccable grade point average throughout her years at TC. Outside of the classroom, Caroline was a captain of the girls' varsity soccer team and played a huge role in helping them to win not only the Gunston District Championship, but also the regional championship for the first time ever. In addition, Caroline was awarded First Team All-District, All-Region, All-Met, and the Alexandria Sportsman's Club Player of the Year Award. Caroline will be continuing her athletic and academic endeavors next year at Johns Hopkins University, where she will be playing on the women's soccer team. Class of 2019, please welcome your salutatorian and one of my best friends, Caroline Bates.
Thank you, Helen. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are so proud to be here and pleased that you all could join us on this very special occasion. Our event today represents the culmination of countless hours of work, sports, art, music, community service, making friends, and becoming the Titans you see here in this hall. On behalf of the class of 2019, I would like to offer a warm welcome to our friends, families, teachers, administrators, and distinguished guests. And welcome, of course, to the fabulous graduating class of 2019. It is now our time to reign. It is hard to imagine as freshmen, wandering the halls of Minnie Howard, how fast 4 years can go by. But we did not undertake this journey alone. Many people contributed to all the events in our lives and helped us get to this special place. I would like to take a moment to thank Mr. Ballas, all of the TC staff and administrators, and so many other people who make TC Williams function every day and help retain its unique culture. From all of us, I offer a heartfelt thank you to all of our teachers and guidance counselors who have given us so much of their time inside and outside of the classroom to nurture us along the way. And to the most important people in our lives, our families and friends, thank you for your love, your sacrifices, your advice, your encouragement, and every little thing you do to help us succeed. We could not have achieved this special moment without you all. I'm sure many of you know that the Women's World Cup soccer tournament is currently underway in France. One of the U.S. players, Alex Morgan, has a quote that really resonates with me, and I think it is relevant to all of us as we move forward in our lives. Alex said, "Talent may get you on the pitch, but it's effort and attitude that will keep you there." Certainly this quote applies on the sports field, however, it applies to almost every aspect of life. We all have something that makes us special, and it is up to us to bring the attitude and effort to allow that special talent to develop and be recognized. And so, class of 2019, enjoy this day. Celebrate this moment with friends and family. And remember that the hard work and dedication that have brought us here will enable many future accomplishments. The bonds we forge here together at TC Williams will be the foundation of our future success. We are the 2019 Titans, and we will be remembered. Thank you.
Now for our valedictorian, Anna Humphrey. Anna has had quite an amazing year. For example, she was awarded the first place prize of $250,000 for the Regeneron Science Talent Search for her work researching and discovering exoplanets missed by the Kepler Space Telescope and developing a mathematical model. In addition, Anna is the founder and president of the Watershed Warriors Initiative, where she teaches environmental STEM lessons at ACPS elementary schools with high proportions of low-income and at-risk students. Anna has won countless awards for her hard work in the STEM field and has been mentioned in numerous scientific articles and journals. Next year, Anna will be attending Harvard University, where she plans to study astrophysics and work toward earning her PhD. Anna has been an inspiration to us all at TC and is the embodiment of success in high school. Class of 2019, I am so proud to introduce our valedictorian, Anna Humphrey.
Good morning. So I've spent a lot of time the last few years thinking about planets. And specifically, I've spent a lot of time thinking about planets' orbits, or the path they take as they travel around their star. Orbits are dependent on gravity, the same force that pulls us down towards Earth and keeps us grounded. However, gravity just doesn't happen spontaneously. It has to be exerted by another body, something like a star or a neighboring planet. These planets or neighboring bodies tug on the planet and pull them into place or alter their orbit just slightly, sending them in a different direction. You might be wondering why I'm sharing this all with you. Well, it's not just because I'm a space nerd or because I couldn't pass up the opportunity to teach you all some science, although both are true. I'm sharing this with you because over the past few years, we've all been searching for our own orbits, our paths through life and into the future. And along the way, we've been impacted by countless people, our friends and family, our classmates and teachers, our communities at TC and in Alexandria. Every interaction we've had, no matter how small, has made it possible for us to be here today. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for mis abuelos, who came from Cuba to the US so that my mother and her siblings could have a better life. I wouldn't be here without my grandparents, who taught me to love and welcome in everyone as if they were family, or my parents, who always told me to do my best no matter what I was doing, or my friends, who constantly inspired and supported me. I wouldn't be here without my many teachers and mentors who pushed me to be my best and to go outside my comfort zone and to learn. And I wouldn't be here without each and every one of you, because it takes all of you to make TC the diverse and dynamic community that it is, a community where we have all grown and learned. Every now and then, a planet has enough interactions to achieve escape velocity, the motion it needs to break out of its safe and stable orbit and leave its solar system. TC Williams, class of 2019, we have achieved escape velocity. We are ready to leave high school and embark on the journey that is the rest of our lives. So as you prepare to leave today, take a moment to thank the people who've influenced you, all of those planets whose gravity has helped you find your path. I'd like to thank all of you for influencing me and helping me find my own path. And I wish you all the best of luck as you venture out into the universe beyond. Thank you.
I love you more. Good morning, class of 2019. My name is Divincha Santita, and I had the privilege to be your SGA president this year. Every year, the graduating class leaves behind a token of appreciation toward the school and students. This year, I am honored to say that the class of 2019 will be leaving a studio booth to promote high academic achievement and good attendance. Each student will have the opportunity to use the studio as an outlet
for dealing with stress and mental health. We hope that the studio booth will allow students the freedom to express themselves artistically and academically. And I also have the huge privilege of introducing the most amazing principal. Mr. Peter Ballas spent the last 16 years of his career with Alexandria City Public Schools. He was a social studies teacher at Minnie Howard, an academic principal and executive associate principal for curriculum and instruction at T.C. Williams. He left TC to transform Mount Vernon Community School into Alexandria's first full K-5 dual language program school. He has now, for the past 2 years, returned to T.C. Williams as our principal. Mr. Ballas holds a bachelor's degree in history and social science from Hofstra University, a master's in curriculum and instruction, and a master's in educational leadership, both from George Mason. So without further ado, please welcome your principal, Mr. Peter Ballas.
Good morning. I would like to officially welcome our guests of honor, our Titan graduating class of 2019. I would also like to extend a welcome to all of our guests here today in the audience who are supporting our students. And I would like to make a special recognition of several people here who have had an important role in your lives. Your elementary and middle school principals are here to support you, along with central office staff who do so much to make our schools operate. All right, class of 2019, we are almost there. The day that once seemed so far away is here, and your graduation marks a milestone in your life that's been in the making since you were just a child. Today's the culmination of years of hard work, and it's time for you to celebrate and be proud of all you've accomplished. It's also a time to look back on all the memories that you have made with your friends, your family, and your loved ones. And as your principal, there's no prouder moment than to hand you your diploma today. I can easily say that I feel such a strong connection to the class of 2019. It's a class I come to love and that I'm truly going to miss. So today, over 750 Titans will be officially graduating from T.C. Williams High School. And looking out over this sea of red, white, and blue, the colors taken from the schools that came together to make TC over 50 years ago, I have to ask myself, what is it that unites us, and what is it that makes us Titans? At TC, we refer to you, our students, our athletes, our artists, our scholars, and our collective school community as Titans. But what does it mean, and how does it represent the class of 2019? Titans are fighters who are strong, smart, and powerful. And this year, we saw you win many titles, championships, and recognitions that celebrated your intellect, your athleticism, and your artistry, and your individuality more than any other class in recent memory. Not only did you win, but you set several first-time records for TC. As Helen said earlier, our varsity girls soccer team won the regional championship for the first time in our school's history and went farther in the state tournament than ever before. Our Scholastic Bowl team displayed a level of academic fortitude that showed better than any other team in the state, bringing home the state title for the very first time. Our own TC swim and dive team were all-city champs for the first time after a very impressive season. TC's We the People team made it to top 5 in state, another first for TC. Our TC choir went to Indianapolis and was selected as one of the top 10 choirs in the country to compete in the Music for All National Choral Festival. 3 of our seniors In our TV media production program, won top awards from C-SPAN's Student Cam Awards, honoring their filmmaking skills. 2 Titans won DECA States for the first time in our school's history for the school store management team. Our young Titan robotics team advanced to compete on a world stage in Detroit in the first championships. And as you've heard, TC's own science research program produced the top teen scientist in the country, making national headlines and even being awarded the Key of Alexandria City by the mayor. That key was an invitation to return to Alexandria to invest in our wonderful city after college. And please know, just like the mayor, we will always welcome our talented Titans back to Alexandria. I could go on and on with your accomplishments. You've broken records at TC, and you left your mark as a class that's a force to be reckoned with. We often refer to you in our social media as #TitansRising. It is clear, with the class of 2019, our Titans have risen. Many of you have shown your power as a Titan by being the first in your family to graduate from high school, or graduating after overcoming seemingly insurmountable obstacles. One student here today has taken 12 classes just this year alone to make up for some lost time and prove that she could reach her goal of earning a high school diploma. And let's not forget the Titan graduates here today from TC's Satellite Campus and Chance for Change campus. Some of these students have been taking online or hybrid class schedules since the 9th grade. And at least one of these students today will be graduating a full year early thanks to the supports of the Satellite Campus. In addition, over 200 of the Titans here today have completed their high school graduation requirements after arriving in this country with little or no English proficiency. Earning a high school diploma in a language other than your native language is a triumph in so many ways. Our Titans are also never alone. You've had the support of your school counselors over here to the side, your teachers, the College Career Center staff, and wonderful TC partners, such as the Scholarship Fund of Alexandria, who gave you $460,000 just to get your college career started. And there's also the Alexandria Workforce Development and Northern Virginia Community College, who have ensured that our Titan graduates have a plan following graduation. The support network at TC truly shows a collective dedication to your success. Most importantly, Titans are truly legends in history. This year, we lost some of our greatest Titans, Julius Campbell and Coach William Yost, but we remember them fondly, and we're reminded of their legacy that we work to live up to today. A legacy that helped transform race relations in Alexandria in the 1960s and 70s. So it's our job to take it to the next level as we walk out of here today. We have been lucky to have some of the greatest Titans around us to help remind us of that work. And so today we say thank you to P.D. Jones, who's one of those legends. He's not only a member of the 71 Titans, but he's been a member of the TC family and is celebrating retirement after many years of service. So today, this legacy is being carried by you, the students who walk across the stage together and continue to feel the same Titan pride. Our high school, contrary to the origins of its name, has become synonymous with a drive for equitable opportunities for all. The students at TC make up the new global majority, ushering in new ways of thinking, new ways of being, and new ways of embracing your fellow human. Your generation is poised to be one of the most influential in history, and I'm proud that TC has provided you with one of the most diversely richly diverse settings in which to grow and flourish. I hope your time at TC will stick with you and help shape who you become. There is no other place that instills the same sense of pride as TC. No matter where you go to college or what you do in the fall, the new friends you make will know the name of your high school. So as you walk out of here today, hold your head high, and whatever you do, go big, and do it with Titan pride. I hope you won't forget TC, because we won't forget you. I am honored to say congratulations to you all, and thank you. And now, we will begin the part of the graduation ceremony you've all been waiting for, the presentation of diplomas.
Miriam Monir Mohammed Abdu. Yasir Hasim Abdukalahim. Anahe Kadir Abdullah. Helena Tesfaye Abu. Danya Adam. Abigail Grace Adams. Jalen Monet Adams. Joyce Abdu. Letitia Adubia. Jessica Agdave. Alicia Augustin. Basir Ahmad. Mercy Anani. Sarah Ann Alba. Juan Antonio Albores. Nathaniel Gannett Alem. Tinsay Gentinal Alem. Muhammad Akbar Ali. Muhammad Ali. Talha Ali. Yusuf Muhammad Ali. Hussam Al-Qadi. Walid Al-Qadi. Omar Al-Snani. Angie Alvarado. Eric Alvarado.
Sebastián Mauricio Amada. Haiti Ahmed. Philip Nelson Ainey. Bara Yassin Abed Al-Ali.
Saeed Tanzim Noor Al-Mutasin.
Cindy Marisol Alvarengo Zalaya. Danisa Ivalis Alvarez. Luis Gustavo Alvarez Merida. Diana Estefany Amador Oyuela.
The name is messed up.
Catherine Mareri Amaya Garcia. Kidis Tefera Amancisa. Hashim Amjad. Michael Amoko. Andy Ludovic. Nathaniel Friends Argust. Douglas Alexander Arias Reyes. Victoria Alejandra Arriaga. Ashley Jamil Asensio. Josue Manuel Ausencio.
A Jerusalem Agrega Axgidu. Yol Eskender Asfa. Irhansham Ashlam. Heaven Fitsum Asnaki. Ali Abdul Sefa. Michael Griffith Austin. Theopolis Marshall Averitt. Jacob Michael Alcaron. Jean-Pierre Alas. Gabriel Mensa. Emilia Antwi. Hendrix Alfonso Aparicio Reyes. Johan Josue Aquino Vasquez. Ayin. Esma Azat. Cody Buffo. Mark William Bailey. Montserrat Balbuena. Mohammed Baltaji.
Hannah Mahmood Bangura.
Ibrahim Bangora. Mariama Conti Bangora. Thomas Bangora. Andrew Owusu Saki Bempa. Ava Scott Benbow. Demetris Benitez. Estefani Yamilet Benitez. Mia Nicole Bennett.
Naya Diamond Benium. Tracy Joanna Berrios. Gaurav Banat. Russell Moffitt Beceda.
Delia Blanco. Delia Blanco.
Delia Blanco. Enrique Blanco. William Emmanuel Aquino Vasquez. Mariama Abdul Kadir Arel. Maria Arian. Amanda Lee Barrancos. Derek Rolando Barrios Barrios. Autumn Carol Basada. Christopher James Lee, Bat 6.
Delmi Batten Perez. Sasha Armani Bates. David James Blinky. Bria Danielle Bonds. Sarah Louise Clay. Emma Grace Franken. Declan Thomas Lewis. Andrell Prahat McDonald Contreras. Kaylee Yolani Yuela Corrales. Michael Jesse Jonathan Torres. Octavius Brown. Tavares John Michael Brown. Will Bruno. Piper Ann Buckhalls. Jane Emmanuel Bullenset. Connor Robert Burns. Jose Alexander Bustillo Ortiz. Julissa Marisol Alvarado. Amber Crystal Cabrera. Susan Cabrera Suarez. Brianna Elizabeth Beckett. Ruth Endakalchu Belki. Soyana Almu Belki. Larry Isaiah Bell. Elizabeth Ofonsoa Boachu. Sebastian Bonham. Christian Mateus Bonilla. Eric Mauricio Bonilla. Denea Bonilla Riacos. Is that yours? Dyson Bucock. Hamilton Bucock. Amina Boo. Catherine Grace Bower. Andy Mitchell Casida. Haley Caldwell. Josue Cales Campos. Skylar Elizabeth Kaepernick.
One more. This is you.
Mia Campbell.
Okay, this is me. Martha Lisbeth Cristino. Carlos Manuel Cifuentes Rodriguez. Lily Margot Clausen. Caroline Grace Coburn. Michael Justice Coakley. Ezekiel Cole. Daniela Colindres Maldonado.
Elspeth Eleanor Collard. Tessa Bowman. Bishop Jovian Bowser. Khalil Michael Corey Boyd. Mina Marie Boyd. Jordan Anaya Brent. Benjamin Bretzman. Jacqueline Ann Cannon. Monica Nuela Cardona Funes. Leslie Carr. Maximilian Jude Carrasco. Monica Raquel Carrillo. Keyshawn Carter.
Eileen Lisbeth Castillo. Nayeli Sidalia Castillo. Leonel Anthony Castillo Vasquez. Hennessy Joanna Castro. Neil Alejandro Colon. George Wright Conger.
Idrissa Salem Conte. Zariah Danae Cope. Carlos Anthony Diaz Irazo. Brian James Diaz Perez.
Margalit Leora Densfry.
Najee Elijah Dillard. Aiden Nicholas Donnellan. Jeremy Castro Caballero.
Brianna Nicole Colley. Trinity Leah Champion. Amani Chase. Brian Florencio Chavez. Suliyama Johanna Chavez Chavez. Daniela Michelle Chavez Garcia. Anas Sharif. Nicole Choijin. Rafael Domingo Coppola.
Janae Sanai Corbin. Catherine Haiti Correas Barbosa. Zaria Crawford. Destiny Quorum. Hannah Amber Cridlin. Selena Lena Crumley. Kenneth Wiles Crum. Sabrina Michelle Cruz Hernandez. Makias Warku Daniel. Javid Jarvish. Omiran Danielle Davies. Krista Lavorne Davis. Ionis Doyer Douglas. Kayla Marie Fells. Jassy Fernandez.
Liam John Davis Wallace. Catherine Michelle De Leon. Anaya Sydney Marie DeBruce. Joshua Querionix Delorbe. Abel Tezera Demisi. Nicodemus Neguse Desalin. Michaela Marie DeSimone. Timothy Brian Despard. Callista Diamantopoulos. Jose Diaz. Campbell Eltroth Dixon. Rosibel Esmeralda Diaz. John Winston Dresden. Jacob Eugene Dudash. Kiana Monique Duncan. Gregory Sergey Dunn. Frederick Waters Eastman. Christopher Echevarria. Obed Castillo. Lydell Edwards.
Johannes Ijigu. Helendana Musi El Subiji. Ahmed Aldawa. Mahmoud El Hag. Lama Eleman. Jeffrey Elliott Azor. Maria Angelina Amalia Escobar. Danny Escoto. Thompson Michael Eskew. Dunat Eskinder. Kadus Eskinder. Hiron Escoval. Azaria Esse. Spencer Yulo. Layla Kiana Roxy Evans. Susanna Monroe Farmer. Mikai Jesus Faulkner. Victoria Angela Figali. Amanda Feldman. Lionel DeMarco Faulkner. Adam Elunas. Lul Amari Indakuchu. Scott Fernandez.
Ella Louise Fessler. Bria Alessandra Files. Paula Eileen Fileos. Natalia Jevan Finklia. Chaudhry Fitzan Al-Hussan. Rosa Candida Flores. Mary Flores Diaz. Francisco Leonel Flores Estrada. Grace Elizabeth Fluharty. Ariana Nadeja Yvonne Frazier. Isabel Fry. Javier Garcia Guzman. Eduardo Garcia Jr. Jason Garcia Kamaqueri. Grayson Hillis Gardner. Melanie Alexandra Garth Martinez.
Tibebe Gabiso. Salam Jebrgarish. Amia Getawan. Selihom Fitsum Jibrisweldi. Kidus Gurme. Jake Evan Glasser. Zoe Eden Glasser. Kendall Anaya Glenn. Nahom Gojela. Jeffrey Fuentes Chavez.
Jocelyn Fuentes Vasquez. Ramla Hassan Gall. Edwin Alexander Galvez Giron.
Josue Gomez.
Xiomara Jacqueline Gonzalez.
Roxy Gonzalez. Brian Gonzalez. Eliseo Gonzalez. Michael Giovanni Gonzalez. Natalie Naomi Gonzalez. Jonathan Eldon Goodrich. Christopher Matthew Rengenfo. Blossom Imani Zaire Graham. Maya Christina Hall.
Iman Fayak Hamdallah. Ola Yasir Hamid. Fahad Imad. Destiny Nicole Hamilton.
Hello.
Mohammed Sami Hanati. Amanda Hannon. Reese Hardman. Kamari Malik Harley. Kayla Michelle Harley. Carl Justin Harris.
Frankie Harris. Ruben Garcia. Jennifer Emeralda Amaya. Jack Granger. Maria Inez Grajida Ramirez. Nady Laili Gordero Diaz.
Brian Guerra Otero. Alba Maria Guevara Granados. Carol Guevara Umansor. Odir Gutierrez.
Griffin Olan Harris. Gabriel Brian Har Sibenis. Emma Francis Hadaway. Molly Hayes. Claire LaRue Hazard. Olivia Scarrets Hazard. Gabrielle Hendy. Leah Noel Hoing. Vincent Edward Hauser. Troy Houston. Amaya Aaron Howard. David Shane Huang. Brendan Huber Wilker. Nathan Henderson Hughley. Beverly Hunter. Jacqueline Samantha Iberhar. Safa Adelby. Anon Gorkin.
Najis Hadari. Haley Kokebi. Kerbel Amari Helimuskel. Wendy Melissa Henriquez Romero. Alan Hernandez. Genesis Alicia Hernandez. Henry Jonathan Hernandez. Francis Wilfredo Hernandez Zavala. Chelsea Teresa Hernandez Navarro. Sabrina Hernandez Sorto. Patrick James Hibschman.
Uguchi Gloria Iwaswe. Thomas Richard Ibsen. Emma Louise Irvin. Leah LaShawn Jackson. Miles Austin Jackson. Naomi Jalden. Joshua William Kassoff. Madeline Alyssa Kassoff. Ashley Danae Keith. Benjamin Earl Kelsey. Marcus Joseph Kuhn.
Zan Ali Khan.
Judas Maximilian Kidu.
Johannes Amasu Kifli. Christy May Kokot. Cameron William Hoholik Carlson. Courtney Catherine Holford. Kayla Marie Holmes. Kyrie Holmes. Paul William Holtz. Leila Jana. Ricardo Rolando Jimenez Orellana. Avery Mackenzie Johnson. Claire Margot Johnson. Aaron Joseph Johnson II. Dennis Johnson. Jaquan Johnson Terry. Antoine Isaiah Jones. Mario Leon Jones. Kelly Kofi Kumson. Mariisha Karoma.
Augustine Pebwa. Zachary Armstrong Krieger. Audrey Ama Adoma. Alan Lopez Batten.
Freddy Lopez Hernandez. Gendry Francisco Lopez Maldonado. Roxana Yamileth Lopez Melgar. Angel Josue Lopez Sauceda. Christopher Daniel Lopez Sauceda. William Thomas Jones. Salam Joseph. Aminatu Kabia. Edward Kaiser. Ali Benedict Kamara. Haja Kubra Kamara. Grace Kanu. Abdulrahman Kargbo. Tatiana Kyle. Scott Thomas Lonnie.
William Raymond Lally. Francis LaMountain. Angel Lara. Clever Eduardo Laranga. Nicole Larson. Christina Darlene Lachey. Lutfi Lacinda. Nelson Josue Lazo Espanol. Brendan Leary.
Yaherson Darinel Lopez Solis. Javier Lobos. Guillermo Josué Lozano. Daniela Sophia McClawson.
Larry Darnelly McLean Jr. Brian Kenny McDaniels. Michaela Deshay McCoglin. Michaela Erin McMahon. Janelli Mariana Liquea Cruz. Eder Dariel Limas Amaya. Sophie Grace Lennon. Christopher Leon Garcia. Joseph John Lepak. Maribel Yama Garcia. Alexander Campbell Lockett. Sojourner Amaya Lomax. Norma Elizabeth Lopez. Emma Elizabeth Lundgren. Matthew David Lustig. Cameron Stockton Luther. Leslie Jane Lytle. Evenzer Maza. Maimona Mayhem. Jason Bantu Macquarie.
Jefferson Alexander Maldonado Hernandez.
Reagan Membert. Lizina Mamo. Mangago. Carlos Miguel Mangago. David Alfredo Manazares. Jerome Monkillen. Belief Victoria Markel. Grace Romel Million. Roxy Giselle Marquez Perez. Charlotte Louise Malone. Chloe Lane Marsh. Angel Timothy Marshall. Alexander Craig Martin. Jade Vivian Martin. Noel Martinez.
Tony Ariel Martinez Bonilla. Henry Estuardo Martinez Orellana.
Full name.
Wesley Jake Martinez Fuentes. Amstelina Katie Masukoy.
Kalta Massacoy. Edgar Josue Marquin Cabrera. Joel Roseni Melbrutu. Max Medina.
Catherine Vanessa Medina Aguilar. Catherine Stephanie Medina Osorio. Kevin Alexander Mejia. Arfat Bayan Mekonnen. Hannah Miniwet Mekonnen. Fakir Retta Malaku. Yonis Belena Malaku. Gabriela Melara Gonzalez. Ivan Alexis Melendez. Saran Wozenchao Melka. Kayla Tennille Mendez. Claudia Natalia Mendez Garcia. Dennis Mendoza Aleman.
Samira Awok Mengistu. Emily Pamela Menjivar Vallejisos. Dennis Mensa. Maxwell Mensa. Michael Mensa. Nathaniel Mensa. Adrian Mercado. Andy Marino Lopez. Christian Tessafe Mesfin. Sam Myers. Shelby Lauren Milster. Hannah Mar Miller. Holden Miller.
Lourdes de la Paz Mendez Reyes. Bridget O'Sullivan Mendonca. Dylan Patrick Miranda. Sabin Mitchell. Nadia Ma'alin.
Adelbrahim Hawad Mohammed. Abdullah Mohammed. Khulud Nazir Mohammed. Raymond Giovanni Mojito Melendez. William Beck Moniz. Armando Stephen Montesino Aguirre. Natalie Melissa Monteflores Gonzalez. Naya Lachey Montgomery. Manuel Montoya Hernandez. Ailish Claire Monsinger. Zachariah Hassan Muhammad. Marlon Muldrew. Lul Hadis Monlugeta. Amelia Del Pilar Munoz. Erin Russell Murphy. Claire Helen Murray. Rohia Zar Nara. Tessa Rose Naughton Rockwell. Stephen Gomez. Ruben Alberto Navorio. Sabia Nazari. Abigia Nigosh. Ronas Paulo Nehart. Jose Alexander Marino Andrade.
Karen Daniela Moreno Lopez. Kang Du Nguyen. Blanca Yolanda Nieto Contreras.
Malaya Lee Norris. Al Hussein Abid. Louisa Shiraza Obenwa. Mackenzie Anne-Marie O'Brien. Leslyn Admaris Ochoa Guzman. Emmanuel Oduro. Kendall Samuel Aguamana. Kendra Sana Aguamana. Zion Ujue Marshall. Ajua Okra. Mame Akiswa Bonsu. Ayub Osmond. Miguel Osario Mondragon. David Oswaldo. LaDeja Overby. Emmanuel Ansa Owusu. Kwaju Gumafi Owusu. Clary Owalo Corrales. Emily Denea Padilla Garcia. Yvonne Danielle Piez. Trinity Maria Palicio. Anastasios Palios. Hermelia Hakim Moses. Ileana Linessa Moses.
Larissa Silva Oliveira. Shafika Omarkil. Zarmina Omarkil. Jaden Alexander O'Neill. Maya Parada. Mariana Mónica Paredes Muñoz. Sophia Ailey Parker. Jasalyn Natalie Paz. Jose David Pereira. Matthew Orlando Perez. Norma Cecibel Perez. Luis Jafet Perez Colindres. Hector Enrique Perez Dominguez. Mirela Perez Molina. Maria Jose Ponciano Rivera.
Theodore James Poor. Hannah Lee R. Rose Ponzi.
Lynette Berenice Portillo Asturias. Fernando Ariel Portillo Ventura. Eileen Joe Powell. Maxim Joseph Powell. Eden Claire Prevost. Fariha Alam Priya.
Monet Lanique Opong. Iris Ornades Salgado. Gabriela Ortiz. Liam Ortiz. Marley Osborne. Monica Gabriela Perez. Kiera Perry. Mary Ellen Peterson. Peter Cormac Peterson. John Quinn.
Cindy Quinteros.
Alden John Quizon.
Fariha Rafa. Wilbert Antonio Ramirez. Fraser Duvan Ramirez Batten. Fernando Isaac Ramirez Bonilla. Marielos Alejandra Ramirez Bonilla.
Annika Corinne Rasmussen. Layla Rasmussen, Eduardo Rivas, William Vladimir Rivera, Joseph Rizkala, Emily Allison Roberts, Jameer Roberts, Donovan Caleb Robinson, Tayana Monet Robinson Prescott, Kalen Pimentel Garcia, Gustavo Pineda,
Oswaldo Pineda.
Hannah Elizabeth Pichler,
Andrea Denise Poiche Trigo. Karen Yesenia Polanco.
Kevon Lamont Pollard, Sanjida Jadir Rahisa, Tajane Lachey Reddick, Sierra Patricia Reed, Emma Towson Reese, Philip Fraser Reese, Blaze Provident Braxton Riesland, Luke Remy, Caroline Ann Rhoda, Samantha Lynn Rodriguez, Victoria Grace Rodriguez,
Manuel de Jesus Rodriguez Gutierrez. Gladys Rodriguez Renderes. Axel Rojas Martin. Ángel Giesi Rojas Millán. Paul Sheeland. Paul Schiefelbein.
Alexander Schagel, Janae Scherner, Ivan David Revi Adames, Catherine Reyes, Connor Rex, Jason Reyes Aguilar, Brian Reyes Ventura, William Guy Rhodes, Alfred Arthur Rodius, Samantha Dorm Ribbler, Aaliyah Marie Richards, Chase Alexander Ring, Carlos Roberto Ramiro Reyes, Ryder Jermaine Rosales, Jack Rossi, Sophie Rust,
Kevin Antonio Saveda Romero. Lillian Kaylee Sacker. Homa Safi. Luisa Jaward Seydu. Mab Salah. Grace Salmons.
Cash Scott, Emily Louise Sedgwick, Kimberly Julissa Segovia, Caleb Seifu,
Sirawit Zakyao.
Andrew Christopher Stable. Jalen Quinay Staten. Grace Elizabeth Steenstra.
Ronald Isaac Sanchez. David Bastian Sanchez Uribe. Dian Sanchez Villafara.
Suleiman Amar Sangare. Abubakar Sanko. Shakiman Buchar Sanko. Michelle Akron Santos. Catherine Eden Sapp. Madeline Ade Sangoy. Nicholas Alexander Lutman Schaefer. Timothy Isaiah Sellers. Mariel Claire Sirona. Idrissa Cisse. Thomas Shan.
Hawa Sharif.
Nathaniel Shaw. Marclene Shifor Fikor. Gaida Shazmish. Classy Iteliha Shepherd. Sean Alexander Schuster. Anna Sierra. Kaya Elise Sigler. Gianna Shael Stockton. Hannah Buckley Stone. Martin Alexander Vantanka. Yared Vasquez Rosario. Ariana Silva. Caroline Ruth Simmons. Kate Allen Serpus.
Ira Saweki. Caroline Alice Sloan.
Darius Smith. Joseph Larry Smith. Alicia Solar Zano. Abraham Sorto. Will Mark Daniel Sorto Gutierrez. Janae Nicole Spivey. Jalen Elizabeth Sprinkles. Zorin Tasman. Zyke Malik Taylor Carter.
Aiden Abebe Teferi. Abel Daniel Tekla. Andres Nicolás Terceros Galdo.
Tensei Tesfa. Mikayas Tesfaye. Hermulia Rita Tuwalde. Chalet Theodros. Love Thomas. Jaden Thrash.
Brianda Liliana Tobar Barahona.
Megan Tolson. Phoebe Tomsu. Adriana Michelle Torres Leas.
Jacqueline Andrea Torres Lopez.
James McKay Towson. Sky Lynn Treasy. Lindsay Tucker.
Rinaldi Alexander Turcio Santos.
George Twinaboa. Humo Archie Bong Humo. Alicia Gabriel Pueblo Ompar. Roberto Ortiz. Maya Nichelle Usher.
Maria Jose Valladares Andino. Fernanda Lucia Vasquez. Heidi Melina Vasquez Argueta. Alexander Torres.
Giovanni Ivan Velasquez. Darwin Sebastian Velasquez Garcia. Karina Giselle Velasquez Ventura. Carla Velasquez Vasquez. Roberto Carlos Velez Loaiza.
Elier Ventura. Otoniel Vigil. Emily Sofia Villason. Noah May Vizzacaro.
Alicia Wagner. Michelle Antonina Wakia. Evan Waldner. Jillian Valentine Walker. Karen Namamba Wasiki. Kaya Janae Watson. David Ace Watson. Arsima Welayanes. Christopher Wells. Aiden White. Selena Lynn Wilcox. Anne Marie Williams. Bridget Louise Williams. Claire Colburn Williams. Darius Antonio Williams. Kendall Williams. Lamont Benson Williams. Addison Cahill Waller. Madeline Waller. Colleen Ann Walsh. Sean Patrick Walsh. Keandre Ward White. Fabian Waldy Summit. Membod Wande. Jenna Wortman. Hannah Woby. Isaiah LaRue Wright.
Tayshawn Jermaine Wright. Ibrahim Osman Yasena. Hannah Maiting Yi. Saran Johannes. Maria Tatiana York. Yelena Marina York. Gufran Bashir Mustafa Yonis. Ian Zach. Marvin Alfonso Zavala Lobo. Peng Zhang. Nyla Ward. Titus Ward. Abigail Rose Warden. Brittany Malia Warren. Eric Wesley Washington Jr.
Anna Louise T.O. Humphrey. Caroline Graham Bates. Helen Marietta Mengel. Matthew Miller.
Danae Williams Taylor.
And last but not least, here's the test. Devine Chasen-Zita.
By the power vested in me by the Commonwealth of Virginia and the School Board of the City of Alexandria, it's with great pleasure that I declare you graduates of T.C. Williams High School. Congratulations. If you find your hat, you can move your tassel from right to left. Congratulations, class of 2019.
So my name is Tim Sellers. I'm going to Old Dominion University, majoring in civil engineering.
Hi, my name is Emma Padilla, and after high school, I'm going to Nova.
Hi, my name is Jason. After high school, I will be attending Marymount University.
What's up, Times? My name is Ibrahim Yassine, and when I graduate, I'm going to be going to Nova, and after that, I'm going to be going to Full Sail.
I'm Phoebe Thompson, and I'm going to Columbia College of Chicago.
Jane Bullen, Norfolk State, pre-nursing. Madeline Sarpong, U.S. Army Financial Management Technician.
Hi, my name is Sydney Anderson, and after high school, I'm going to Carthage College.
I'm Chase Ring, and I'm going to Christopher Newport University.
Hi, my name is Love Thomas, and after high school, I'm going to join the Army Reserves, and then I'm going to join VSU in the spring semester.
Hi, my name is Donovan Robinson, and I'm going to New York for New York University.
Hi, I'm Lisi Ponzi, and after high school, I'm going to the University of South Carolina. Go Cox!
I'm Caroline Sloan, and after high school, I'm going to UVA. Go Hoos!
Hi, I'm Jaden. I'm going to George Washington University, and I'm going to major in business.
Hi, my name is Zan Khan. I'm going to Catholic University of America, and I'm majoring in computer science.
Hi, my name is Amaya Howard, and after high school, I will be attending Virginia Commonwealth University, majoring in theater.
My name is Jose Diaz, and I will be attending the Northeast Wisconsin Technical College after high school.
My name is Jaquan Johnson. I'll be furthering my athletic and academic career at Prince George's Community College.
My name is Jason Reyes, and I'll be attending NOVA for 2 years and then transferring to Old Dominion University.
Yo, what's up? My name is Jack Granger, and I will be attending the Old Dominion University to play men's soccer.
Hello, my name is Philip Cole, and I am going to Nova.
Hi, my name is Will Ramirez, and after I graduate, I'm going to Nova Pathways and then GMU.
Hi, my name is Francisco Flores, and after high school, I'm going to go to the military.
Hi, my name is Omar Al-Sinani. I'm going to be joining Nova Pathways, and then I'm going to transfer to James Madison.
Hi, my name is Marva Tanka, and I will be going to Dickinson College, where I will be studying history.
Hi, my name is Amstelina Massaquet, and after graduation, I will be attending Virginia State University.
Hi, my name is Kiana Duncan, and after high school, I will be attending Old Dominion University.
Hi, my name is Catherine Amaya Garcia. After high school, I'm doing virtual education, and my major will be business.
Hi, my name is Helen Mangle, and after high school, I'm going to UVA.
I'm Hannah Stone, and after high school, I'm going to Duke University.
What's up? I'm Nathan Argus. I'm going to Mary Washington. I'm going to study philosophy.
Hi, my name is Mackenzie O'Brien, and after high school, I'll be attending VCU.
I'm Emily Menjivar, and after high school, I'm going to the Fire Training Academy.
Hi, my name is Chelsea Hernandez, and I'm going to VCU.
I'm Joseph Lepak, and I'm going to George Mason University after high school.
Hi, I'm Jordan Brent, and after high school, I'm going to Old Dominion University.
Hi, my name is Autumn Basara, and after high school, I'm going to Norfolk State University.
Hello, my name is Evan Paez, and I'm going to James Madison University to play soccer. Go Dukes.
Hi, my name is Victoria Yaga, and after TC, I'm going to Nova.
Hi, my name is Claire Johnson, and after TC, I'm going to James Madison University.
Hi, my name is Piper Buchholz. After graduation, I'm going to go to VCU, and I'm going to major in business foundations.
I'm Will Jones. I'm going to Virginia Tech to study graphic design.
I'm Ada Smaller. I'm going to University of Maryland for computer science.
I'm Jacob Dudash, and I'm going to Penn State for biomedical engineering.
My name is Abdul Cargo, and after high school, I'm going to go to the military, then go to VSU.
Hi, my name is Aaron Johnson, and I'm going to ODU next year.
Hi, my name is Will Lally, and after high school, I'm going to Oberlin.
Hi, my name is Grace Million, and after high school, I'm going to take a gap year, and then in 2020, I'm going to be admitted to University of Mary Washington as a freshman.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and after high school, I'm going to George Mason.
My name is Nelson Lazo, and I'm also going to George Mason after high school.
Hi, my name is Melanie Garth, and after high school, I will be taking a gap year off, and I will be going to Nova and be transferring.
Hi, my name is Gabriel Hendy. After high school, I'll be going to Roanoke College to play soccer and study business and communications. Go Maroons!
Hi, I'm Zoe Glasser, and after high school, I'm going to go study at Syracuse University and major in newspaper and online journalism.
My name is Tiberia Gabiso, and I'll be attending VCU after high school.
Hi, my name is Jalen Staten, and after high school, I'm going to be attending ODU.
Hi, I'm Pete Peterson. After high school, I'm going to VCU to study cinema.
Hi, my name is Sojourner Lomax, and after high school, I will be going to Norfolk State University.
Hi, my name is Isabel Fry, and after high school, I'm going to Virginia Tech.
Hi, my name is Dylan Miranda, and I'll be attending Christopher Newport in the fall to play football.
Hi, my name is Phil Aney. I'm attending Virginia Tech, go Hokies, and I will be majoring in business.
Hi, my name is Cameron Luther. I'll be attending McPherson College and majoring in automotive restoration.
Hi, my name is Crystal Davis, and after high school, I'll be going to Norfolk State University.
I'm Griffin Harris, and I'm going to Northwestern University.
I'm Holden Miller, going to VCU.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, I'm Zaria Cope, and I'll be attending Wake Forest University in the fall to study psychology. Go Deeks!
Hi, my name is Anna Jane, and after high school, I'm going to UVM. I'm going to study environmental studies and Spanish.
Hi, my name is Divin Chasancita, and I'll be attending VCU over this fall.
Hi, my name is Maria Grajeda, and I'm going to Nova.
How y'all doing? I'm Shaka Mom Sanko. I'm going to Norfolk State. I'm a major in graphic design.
My name is Ibrahim Bangura. I'm going to North Carolina A&T, and I'm majoring in computer science.
My name is Campbell Dixon. I'm going to College of Charleston, and I'm not sure what I'm majoring in yet.
My name is John Quinn, and after high school, I'm going to West Virginia University.
I'm Lily Clausen, and I'll be going to UVA in the fall.
And I'm Tessa Bowman, and I'll be going to the University of Vermont.
Hi, I'm Nayelis Castillo, and after high school, I'm going to Nova to keep studying film.
I'm Elisa Solorzano, and I'll be attending the University of Michigan.
Hi, my name is Alexander Carr, and I'm going to a four-year college.
Hi, my name is Paul Sheeland, and I'm going to Wisconsin to study mechanical engineering.
My name's Alex. I'm going to UVA to study international finance.
My name's Janae.
And my name's Mame.
And we're going to
Virginia State University.
Hi, my name's Mamadou Wan, and I'm going to go to St. Peter's University, where I'm going to major in journalism.
Hi guys, my name is Blossom Graham, and I'll be attending Hampton University in the fall. I'll be a biology major on the track of a pre-med program.
Hi, I'm Maddie Kassoff.
I'm Sophie Rust.
And we're going to Virginia Tech.
Hi, my name is Howard Sharif, and I'm going to VCU, and I'm majoring in criminal justice with a concentration in forensic crime scene investigation.
Hi, my name is Shelby, and I'm going to Savannah College of Art and Design.
Hi, my name is Elspeth Collard, and I'm going to University of Richmond.
Hi, my name is Sophia Parker. After high school, I'm going to Spelman College, and I will be majoring in political science.
Hi, my name is Lazina, and I'm going to VCU.
Hi, my name is Salam, and I'm going to George Washington.
Hi, I'm Joe McKeeling. I'm going to Nova, and I'm going to study business.
Hello, I'm Marcolene Federo. I'm going to Mason and I'm studying cybersecurity engineering.
Hey guys, I'm Joey Rascala. I'm going to George Mason University and I'm majoring in law enforcement.
Hi, I'm Mary Ellen Peterson. After high school, I'll be going to Georgetown University and majoring in psych.
Hi, my name is Chloe Marsh, and after high school, I'll be going to the University of Virginia, and I will also be majoring in psych.
I'm Ariana Frazier, and I'm going to NC State University. I'm majoring in biomedical engineering and African American studies.
Hi, I'm Joshua Del Orbe. I'm going to VCU for computer science.
Hi, my name is Jonas. I'm going to JMU for accounting.
Hi, my name is Mohammed. I'm going to VCU, and I'm studying economics.
Hi, my name is Phoebe LaMountain, and after graduation, I've decided to go to Virginia Commonwealth University, where I'm going to major in environmental studies and minor in either communications or art history.
Hi, my name's Teddy Poor. I'm studying at the University of Lynchburg. I'm majoring in business management.
I'm Josh Kassoff, and I'm going to Virginia Polytechnic State Institute and University.
Hi, my name's Dean Schiller, and after high school, I'm going to be going to University of Maryland College Park, and I'll be studying kinesiology.
Hi, my name is Kendra Ogwamina. After high school, I'll be attending Eastern Mennonite University, and I'll be majoring in nursing.
Hi, my name is Classy Shepard. After high school, I'll be attending Virginia Tech and majoring in biology.
My name is Sean Walsh. I'll be attending VT, and I applied at psychology. We'll see if I stick with it, though.
Hi, my name is Jaden Thrice. I'm going to Old Dominion University next year, where I will study in criminal justice.
Hi, my name is Kayla Fells, and after high school, I'll be studying Old Dominion University and studying business. Go Monarchs!
I'm Claire Hazard, and after high school, I'm going to UMass.
I'm Olivia Hazard, and I'm going to UVA.
Hi, my name is Mia Bennett. I'm going to Virginia State University, and I am majoring in marketing.
My name is Mahmoud Alhag, and after high school, I'm going to Richard Bland, then Tech.
My name is Amanda. After high school, I'm going to VCU.
My name is Jonas, and after high school, I'm going to CU Boulder.
Hello, my name is Khalil Boyd. I'm going to the military. I'm studying nuclear engineering.
Hi, my name is Samantha Rodriguez, and I'm going to Radford University.
I'm Haley Caldwell. I'm going to Virginia Commonwealth University, and I'm majoring in biology.
Hi, my name is Maya Usher. I'm going to VSU, and I'm majoring in English.
Hi, my name is Brianna Coley, and I'm going to VCU, and I'm majoring in fashion merchandising.
My name is Thompson Eskew. I'm going to Christopher Newport University, and I hope to major in political science.
Hi, my name is Dyson, and I'm going to Virginia Tech to major in biology.
Hi, I'm Annika. I'm going to Coastal after high school, and I'm going to major in women's studies.
Hi, my name's Grace. I'm going to UVA to study education.
Hi, my name is Tessa Naughton Rockwell, and next year I'll be going to Virginia Tech in the College of Agricultural Life Sciences to study international agriculture and entomology.
Hello, my name is Kiara Perry, and after high school, I'll be attending Stillman University.
My name is Courtney Hofer, and after high school, I'll be going to Virginia State University studying business.
Hi, my name is Nadia Ma'alan. I'm attending George Mason University, and I'm majoring in neuroscience and psychology.
I would like to shout out Ibrahim Bangorov. He's the fastest dude in TC.
Shout out to my brother, Savin. He's a senior.
I'd like to shout out to my man's Al, best senior in the school.
I'd like to shout out Maxwell and Michael Mansaha. Maxwell, the rugby demon, you already know, already representing, and Michael, the track demon and football demon. Shout out to them.